Hey you guys, so last night I had this really profound dream awakening, and before I get started on that, I'm just gonna really condense this really fast. Every year around my birthday time, I treat my birthday around like New Year's. What is it that I want to do for my next year of life, right? And my birthday's coming up in like a week and a half, I think, and I've been already starting to think about it. And one of the things that came to me last night was that there's a lot of content creators out there like myself, high resonating creatures that are really wise, and we're all giving you different techniques, different tips to focus on and think about, right? Like things that you should be aware of so you can start shifting your reality. But there's also other techniques out there that you can definitely use that will help you speed that process up. Some people want to evolve, some people want to ascend, some people just want to develop. And since that's my specialty, I wanted to deliver that now, starting now. So what am I going to start talking about first? Well, yesterday I was sitting down and I was talking to one of my students, and they asked me, how is it that I can get more in tune with myself? How is it that I can really start understanding who I am as a star being, as a star seed? You know, some people call them star seeds. I call them star beings. I call them aliens. You know, whatever, star creatures, whatever it is that you feel most comfortable with, that's what we're talking about. How do you start finding out who you are, where you came from, and what you're doing? Well, the first thing that you always got to apply here is you don't know who you are. That's the first step that you got to take. Like you first of all don't know who you are. You think you know who you are, but you really don't, okay? That's the first most hardest thing for people to usually be real with themselves and just being like, well, I've been on this planet for X amount of years, 30 something years or whatever, however long you've been here. How do I not know myself? You just know what this is. You don't know who you are as a star being across the cosmos, across other dimensions. That's what I'm saying. So you really don't know who you are. You just know literally a sliver of who you are. If you had 10 incarnations, okay, and if you don't believe in incarnations, this probably is not for you. But if you've had 10 lifetimes and you're just aware of this one, you're missing out on a ton of information, and that's why I'm here. I want you guys to start tapping into it. Now, you can go to somebody and do a bunch of soul retrieval. You can go to a bunch of healers and be put under hypnosis and stuff like that. That's not my technique. Like, I didn't get here by depending on other people, you know what I mean? And I love helping other people, but I know there's some of you out there that are ready to like have it sitting here and asking yourself, well, how do I attain it? Like, some of these concepts I hear from other creators, really wise stuff, but how do I apply that to myself? Well, the first thing that I told my student was that, which was, you got to understand that you don't know anything. Even me and my proficiency doing this type of work my entire life, like, I still would never say that I know everything. It's impossible to know anything, everything. You know what I mean? So, am I an expert at what I do? Yes. Do I know that I can hold mine down? Yes. But do I know everything? No. That's ignorant. So that's the first step. That's a way of you stepping your ego aside by saying you know nothing at all. That's the first one. Okay. The second one is then being able to sit with yourself and say, everything that I've learned, because my student yesterday was like, well, I have a hard time grasping psychic abilities because I think so logically, and I feel like I have to control everything because that's just how I was brought up. And the first thing I said to him was, hey, you have to take everything you learned as a child and put that to the side. You don't have to throw it away because it's really hard to throw that away. And with time, you probably could. I know I did for sure. But you got to go ahead. You got to take everything that you've ever learned as a childhood, whatever they've given you. You got to take that, step it to the side for the moment that you're going to be meditating with yourself, asking yourself your true questions, or meditating on anything that one of us high resonating creators have given you. You have to step away from everything that you've ever learned in your life and sit with yourself in a brand new state. Why? Because when we are growing up, people feed us our reality. They tell us what our reality is supposed to be, what our dream is supposed to be. And then, if you follow me, I've said that the reality is a dream, and dream is a form of art. That means that you can recreate your reality if you really just absorb that you're living in a dream, you're lucid dreaming by being aware of that concept and that you have power, okay? So if we know that we're dreaming, and when we were children, they kind of told us what we're supposed to be dreaming, like you can't go out there and really be an energy worker for the rest of your life, or we can't have the things that we most desire in our lives. Like, there's different things that you can say, you can add in there that you could say are things that were passed down to us by our parents when it comes to defining our reality, defining ourselves, defining the dream in general. So you have to be able to step aside and put all of that learning curve to the side and stand brand new and say, okay, well, I know nothing. I'm going to reconstruct whatever it is that I thought I knew about reality. That is really what it comes down to. When you start doing that, you get to define reality for yourself the way you best interpret it, the way you best need it to work for you. Okay, so this is like a hard reset. A lot of times we teach you, like high resonating creatures will teach you, these concepts of like, this is how manifestation works. This is how you start really aligning yourself with your true path. But if you're somebody who's aware of shamanism, of other spiritual practices, a lot of people have to come like to this 0 point, whether you call it rock bottom or rebirth, or like a transcendental state where you just stop existing as a certain person anymore. Okay, this is what I'm talking about. This is like that hard reset of like your rebirth right now. Okay, we just got out of the Mercury retrograde. We just got out of the worm moon. There's a ton of pure energy to reconstruct your reality. And if you're not doing anything with it right now, you're wasting a lot of time. And the first things you got to do is like, nothing. You have to take everything that you've ever known about yourself, set it aside, and then start reevaluating what it is that you want out of your reality. Then you can literally recreate reality by just doing that. Now, you're not going to do it on the first try, okay? You're not going to be able to recreate your entire reality on the first try just because you set things apart and you realize that you know nothing. It's a work in progress until you hit a certain level where you're like, whoa, it's set, okay? So it's almost like you're clicking the reset button over and over and over and over and over again until you get, the factory refresh on any of your devices. That's literally what it comes down to. So once you've done these first two steps, the third step that I usually tell people, and I told my student yesterday, was sit with yourself. Your soul will actually talk back to you. A lot of times we think our soul is inside of our body. It's not. Our soul is actually like a hard drive. And that's a collection of experiences that we've had across every lifetime, every lifetime across the cosmos in general, okay? So if we know that our soul is just a hard drive of collection of experiences, it can interact with you like a hard drive when you're looking for a certain file. All you have to do is talk to it like a regular person, like you're talking to me. My student was having problems because he was thinking about it as a program. I have to command my soul to do this. No, your soul already is accessible. It's open. It's willing to help you. You just have to stop being, in a way, ignorant of saying that you need to control it. You need to stop being ignorant in a way of saying like you know everything already. You know who you are. And you need to stop being ignorant and saying that like you can't reconstruct your reality. So then you go ahead and you sit down, and I told them, grab a couple pieces of paper and write down 3 major questions that really matter to you, whether it's why am I doing something to myself, or why is this pattern perpetually in my life, or whatever. What do I need to do to better myself in general? Okay, when you start really sitting down and asking your soul, and all you do is you write down these questions, you know what questions you're going to ask, and then when you're ready, you sit down with yourself and you're like, soul, okay, my soul, I need to know why it is that this pattern exists in my life. You ask and you shut your mouth, period. Like, you can't ask and be like, oh, what am I going to listen to? What am I going to hear? What am I going to pick up? What's going to happen? Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. That's not you listening. You need to actually shut up and let the answer come to you. You might notice that your pen will pick up and start writing for you. You might just see words, hear things, and then you write, and you'll notice that you have the answer. This is the first technique to diving into your soul. I hope it helps you. have a wonderful morning.